Hi, we're here with Heather Laurie, who's our new transaction coordinator for the Fair Oaks office, and I thought we would use this opportunity just to introduce everybody at the Fair Oaks office to Heather, and so I wanted to welcome you to the office.
Thank you.
And,
I'm happy to be here.
I was very impressed with all of the recommendations and all the testimonials that you received from your previous employers. I know you were a executive assistant for two top producing agents in Green Bay, and one of them was with Sotheby's International, and the other one was with Frank Howard Allen, which are two really prominent firms. And so what kind of things were you doing in that role that would help you to be a top TC?
You know, I had a lot of duties as an assistant to each agent, and I've always been a transaction coordinator. That's always kind of been my main role. But you know, basically just making sure that the transaction's moving forward, that all of the deadlines are being met in the transaction, and that everybody's being communicated with, because that's really the key thing. Especially, for instance, with the short sale. I mean, you've got to contact the client every week and just make sure that everybody's on the same page. So that's really important. So
I know you're licensed.
Yes.
And I know that you're a UC Davis Aggie, which is important.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Go Aggies.
Go Aggies.
But I also was very impressed with the fact that you've been involved with all kinds of different residential transactions in the state of California, which would include new home transactions, equity sales, short sales, REOs, land. I'm probably missing some, but you have extensive knowledge with handling short sale transactions as well as
Yes.
REO transactions.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, with the first agent that I worked for, he did a lot of distressed sales, lots of short sales, lots of bank-owned properties. So I've got a lot of experience working on those transactions, and land, subdivisions, just everything. And then the agent that I worked for recently, he had really a focus on luxury listings. So, you know, listings that were $1 million plus. And so I've got a broad amount of experience on every transaction. So it's great because I know what to look for. I know what things to look for.
Great. So your background is, I mean, I just saw that right away, that and what you want to do is not sell real estate. You want to be an administrator. You want to be a transaction coordinator.
Definitely.
You don't have aspirations to be a realtor or to practice, as it were. But so, what would be some benefits to the realtors in our office for using a transaction coordinator? And just let me just preface my thoughts on that is that I find that many top producing realtors spend as much as 50% of the time in administrative duties, $10 an hour jobs.
That's right.
And
That's
so
true.
how can you help them with that?
You know, I think there's just a huge benefit to having a transaction coordinator, and it's really just someone assisting you in the transaction. I kind of feel like what I'm bringing to the table, it's a little bit more than your average transaction coordinator, because I've been an assistant. So I've done a little bit more than just the paperwork. And it's great because you've got somebody in the office that's moving the paperwork along, that's making sure that the deadlines are met, and working towards closing the transaction along with you. But I mean, obviously I'm not looking to control the transaction, but just make sure that things are moving along, that all of the deadlines are being met, and that, you know, anticipating the deadlines as they come up. So
yeah. I know you're really good at anticipating problems that might come up and addressing those instead of waiting till there's chaos in a transaction. So
definitely.
Yeah. So you're trained into the system.
I am.
And you have you understand home base on. It's home base. What's the name of the new home base? It used to be Lead Router.
Well, it's still called home base, and so I've gone through training on the home base system, and this is something that if an agent decides to use me as a transaction coordinator, this is the benefit that they'll have, is that they can log into home base, they can see all the documents that are uploaded to date, everything that has been signed, and then when the transaction closes, they can present that to their client, a link to the documents, you know, as part of their customer service. instead of just giving them a CD or having to carry around a big file, wherever their client is in the world, they'll have access to these documents.
And those documents are going to be saved for
7 years.
7 years, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And there won't be it'll be totally paperless if that's what they want.
Yeah, and you know, it's something that I think that from what I've heard other offices are moving towards too, and I know that Coldwell Banker is really cutting edge with their technology, and this is definitely something that I think a lot of offices are going to be doing in the future. So
good. Well, you were trained very fast, and you're ready, and so you're open for business.
I am.
You're ready to go, and so how should agents can feel free to reach out to you, or
definitely we'll be sending out an email with my contact information, with my phone number and my email, and you know, as soon as somebody wants to sit down with me, I just 10 or 15 minutes of their time, I can show them the home-based system and just kind of the way that it works, the benefits of home base, and then you know, get some people on board with it.
Good,
so
good. Okay, well, just a short video, just as an intended just to introduce everyone to Heather, and Heather, we're really happy to have you here. You're really going to be a great team player.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Okay, thank you.